NFL draft opened up a week ago today. It came and went. Now you've seen just about every sports book finally get the Super Bowl odds updated and into their, kind of a locked-in spot for now through the summer and whatnot until they'll be updated again when more action starts to come in on it. But thought we could take a look at the winners and losers of the NFL draft according to those future odds. Naturally, look, let's start with the New Orleans Saints. And we've talked a lot about the Saints draft here. I mean, they're right down the road in New Orleans. So we've talked a lot about their draft in the first round with Chris Olave, with Trevor Penning, with the cornerback in the second round.
Taylor out of Tennessee.
Alontae Taylor. And then, they took some flyers and some guys late, the Jackson twins and whatnot. New Orleans, we've kind of kept it focused on their win total, right? Super Bowl odds. Coming into the draft, they had odds as long as 60-1. Most of them have settled in around 50-1 or 40-1 right now.
If not moved at all, yeah.
If not moved at all. You're right. Some of them have stayed put. A couple, though, have been really bullish on the Saints draft, and those would be Westgate in Las Vegas, who moved the Saints from 60-1 pre-draft, now down to 30-1 post-draft. One of them that didn't change would be BetMGM. They've been 30-1 there the entire time. And then DraftKings from 60-1 down to 50-1. So most of them in that 50-1, 40-1 range, but Westgate, Las Vegas, 30-1 now, the New Orleans Saints to win the Super Bowl after their draft.
Saw Westgate in person. They have a lovely sports book. They have a lovely swimming pool as well. I like the bullishness on the New Orleans Saints there. And it makes sense, Musso. Maybe not to that extreme, but at least the way I see it, I feel much better about this team just based on two people that they picked up. One in the NFL draft and one in free agency. Chris Olave, Tyrann Mathieu. Now that I know both of those guys are in the black and gold this season, I feel a lot better about it. And we know it was a need. We know it was probably going to be addressed. But I feel really good about both of those guys coming in and contributing immediately, especially Olave at the receiver position, man. He is dynamic as hell, and I think he's going to complement Mike Thomas really well and Marquez Callaway really well because I think he's an underrated receiver.
We talked about it yesterday with looking at Olave's Rookie of the Year odds. He's one of the betting favorites there. The ability to stretch the field. He's just a complete receiver, though, honestly. I think a lot of people look at the ability to stretch the field, but he's a great route runner and can really hit you the intermediate throws as well. He's a perfect complement to a Michael Thomas, so you like that. And what you already have with Marquez Callaway potentially being a number 3 now, which is a role that many believe would suit him better.
Harris as well, or Hardy?
Hardy, yeah. Deontay Hardy now, of course. I like the Penning pick a lot. I really think they've had great success along the offensive line and developing offensive linemen, something we've talked about. That feels like a guy who can get in there, play early. Maybe it won't be, perfect to start the year. It'll take a few games to get under the belt. But by the end of the year, you really feel like that guy's not going to be a rookie anymore, right? That he's going to really have settled into that spot at left tackle and just bolster what still is, even minus Teron Armstead, one of the best offensive lines in football with Andrews Pete, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, and Ryan Ramczyk as the other bookend tackle. So I really like that. The Tyrann Mathieu signing is awesome. I mean, obviously that plays a lot into this too. That happened post-draft, so that's going to change some stuff. But you just haven't seen it alter the win total much, which is why I find it interesting to see somebody like Westgate, Las Vegas, move the odds that much for the New Orleans Saints when the win total is really stayed at 8. You might see it get to 8.5, but it's so much of that feels more like a commentary on no Sean Payton and having Dennis Allen in there now.
Maybe the people there at Westgate are just really bullish on Jameis Winston because that seems to kind of be the X factor for the Saints when you talk to national people, like people on the outside looking in. Like this team, this is the perception of the Saints, not necessarily what I think of them, but people, some odds makers seem to think that they already got the elite defense. They now drafted to try to bolster that. And offensively, you have one of the best receivers who's coming back healthy, and now hopefully a good unit around him. Yes, there's a question mark with Kamara, but you saw what the team did last year, having a winning season with everything that they had to go through. Now you add in the names that you know for a fact are coming, you feel a little bit better about it. But I did have a thought on Trevor Penning and what you said there. I think it's a really good pick, but as far as this season, I don't know how much he's going to contribute. I think down the road he could be a really good player. But you have James Hurst there, and James Hurst at least showed he's capable of filling in there. You have to consider the competition that Trevor Penning played against in college, coming out of Northern Iowa. It reminds me a lot of Teron Armstead coming out. Arkansas Pine Bluff. I believe his rookie year was in 2013. And initially, he struggled. I forgot who was ahead of him, the tackle at the time, but he got hurt before a really important game against Carolina. And I remember Teron Armstead got absolutely taken to the woodshed by Greg Hardy in a game early in his career. And he didn't look very good as a rookie, but he took his lumps, and down the road, you saw what he was, all-pro talent. Got the money in Miami now. I think Trevor Penning, best case scenario, that is the path that the Saints are going to hope. But maybe not. Maybe he'll be ready right on the onset. But again, coming out of Northern Iowa, I don't really know if he's going to come in and dominate right away like a Ryan Ramczyk coming from Wisconsin.
Not dominate, but I mean, if you draft this guy in the first round, 19th overall, he's going to be given every opportunity to start day one.
Yeah, you would think. But
I mean, you've invested that much. No, it doesn't mean he's going to go there. But that's what I said early in the year. It might not be pretty, but by the end of the year, he gets those reps. I think he can grow up fast.
It's a good pick, but I think Olave is a great pick and one that's going to have ramifications immediately. That is the one I'm most pumped up for. When you compound that with picking up Tyrann Mathieu, I'm way more jacked up about the season. And you could ask Casey and Taylor. We did a whole segment on Hunt and Hill show about how pessimistic I was about the New Orleans Saints. Now I'm a lot more optimistic, despite the fact Sean Payton's no longer there as head coach.